Believe it or not, this is the 27th time that we are starting a new year by gathering for this full day of both, we hope, very informative as well as insightful discussion. It is both a joy and a privilege to connect with friends and also, I believe, many faithful attendees of this forum, and to see the crowd of eager faces ready to engage in today's pressing conversations. So whether you're here for the first time, the 5th time, the 10th time, or whatever number of times that you've been here at the ROF, we trust that you will receive fresh and relevant perspectives on the key trends and developments on the horizon. Let me first express my thanks to all our sponsors who have made the ROF accessible, and especially to the goal sponsors for this year's forum, which is the Asia Foundation, Mapletree Investments, and Nikkei Group Asia. Their generous support has made this year's forum affordable for the wide audience gathered here and also joining us online. We are also grateful for our silver sponsors, Allen and Gladhill, Capital Land Investments, and the SP Group. Our proceedings today will be guided by the theme, Trust and Power in Pivotal Times. Trust is essential to social, economic, and political life. Trust holds families and communities together, enables stable commerce and governance within nations, and facilitates bilateral and multilateral relations between nations. Trust may be intangible, but it is certainly impactful, and we can discern its presence as well as its absence. Indeed, distrust between the world's major powers, distrust of people towards the elites, and distrust of citizens in the economic and political systems governing their lives seems to be rippling across the region. The keynote session today will reflect on the state of the global order and Southeast Asia's response to these prevailing trends. Our distinguished speaker, Tan Sri Anifa Aman, brings with him vast experience, having served as Malaysia's foreign minister for a decade, from 2009 to 2018, and having continually engaged in the country's political and economic development. We welcome his thoughts on the power relations between the United States and China, and how conditions during his tenure in government compare with the present. The longer view is important. The current state of rivalry and distrust did not emerge abruptly, but have evolved out of domestic as well as international trends. The far-reaching consequences of major power competition on Southeast Asia, including the old question of strategic non-alignment and new questions surrounding economic dependence and fragmented supply chains, demand serious thought. Contestations in the South China Sea also deeply affect our neighboring countries and the region as a whole. How should Southeast Asia navigate these treacherous waters? We look forward to hearing Tan Sri Anifa's insights on this. Following the keynote address, our first panel will dive deeper into US-China relations, as well as Japan's response. Dr. Evan Feigenbaum, Professor Xiang Lanxing, and Professor Kawashima Shin, scholars of international relations and foreign policy, will shed light on the relationships between these three countries, all of which continue to exert strong influence here in Southeast Asia. Tensions between the major powers will surely persist, with occasional flare-ups, especially with regard to Taiwan, but we have also witnessed recent overtures by both sides to try to keep the relationship from being dragged down further. The US and China both face a challenging 2024, with the US presidential elections unfolding all the way until November, and the Chinese authorities grappling with a sluggish economy. Japan, which is located in between and still the third largest economy, though the gap has grown, continues its strategic engagement with both sides. This panel will help us understand the broad contours of geopolitical rivalries and alignments, setting the global context for this forum's subsequent sessions. In 2024, Southeast Asia continues to also face economic challenges arising from such geopolitics and also from the quest for sustainable economic development. Countries confront the dilemmas of accessing both US-based and China-based production networks and markets, even as both sides also put up barriers to entry and the uncertainty prevails. In our second panel, Dr. Lily Yang Ying and Datuk Sri Wong Siu Hai will provide an academic and a practitioner's analysis of global supply chains fragmentation, helping us to understand the scope and implications of this phenomena. Current conditions also afford opportunities for growth, notably in the semiconductor industry, which is well established in this region, and in new priorities such as renewable energy and electric vehicles. It is most pertinent for this forum to hold conversations on the prospects for these new investments and strategies for keeping up with technological change, job creation, and moving up value chains. After lunch, we will cast our eyes on 4 Southeast Asian countries. We always hope we could do more, but there's only one day, so we had to stick to 4. These 4 are Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia. In panel 3, we start this regional tour with looking at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's unity government, how it kept its composure in 2023. His sprawling coalition of 4 coalitions and 18 parties, led by Pakatan Harapan, held together, has rolled out signature policies while courting some controversy. The 6 Peninsular state elections in August affirmed the traction that the multi-ethnic unity government and its moderate platform had in West Coast towns and cities. However, Perikatan Nasional's coalition's sweeping wins in the north and its advances throughout the peninsula confirm that the Malay-dominant coalition remains the overwhelming choice of the Malay community. Datuk Sri Mujahid Yusof Rawa and Wan Ahmad Faisal, 2 younger generation leaders of the Malay-based parties Amanah and Bersatu, will be respectively sharing their perspectives on Malaysia's political journey, also on the tussle between the moderate and hardline politics, and whether society is really as polarized as the rhetoric suggests. Panel 4 will shine the spotlight on the Philippines and Thailand, whose contrasting geographies are as striking as some political similarities. Both countries have experienced episodes of mass anti-establishment movements and witnessed the return of what could be called political dynasties. Ferdinand Marcos Jr., now 1.5 years into his presidency, enjoys majority support but faces economic headwinds due to inflation. Under his administration, foreign policy has tilted back towards the US, with consequences for the Philippines' approach on the South China Sea issues. Marites Bituk, a veteran journalist and accomplished author, will help distill the country's contemporary developments for us. Thailand has recently formed a new government led by the Perthai Party in an unexpected coalition with pro-establishment parties. The return of the Shinawat dynasty, along with the search for support for the reformist Move Forward Party, signal the tensions within Thailand. Dr. Anuson Uno, an authoritative voice on politics and social movements in Thailand, will help clarify for us in this session who holds power and what lies ahead for the foreseeable future. We will conclude this forum by focusing on a pivotal event that looms large and close. On February 14th, 5 weeks from today, some of us might be busy entertaining our Valentines, but Indonesians will have another two V words on their minds, and that is voting and victory. Joko Widodo's decade-long presidency is ending, but his shadow looms large, and the competition to inherit the mantle is boiling over. The three contenders, Prabowo Subianto, Ganjar Pranowo, and Anies Baswedan, have played their cards by assembling coalitions, appealing to key voter segments, and leveraging on or contesting against Jokowi's legacy. Prabowo's sensational and controversial selection of Jokowi's son Gibran as his vice presidential running mate has added further intrigue into an already dramatic contest. Have the candidates captured the zeitgeist, or has the gap between the elites and the people grown? Who will win the trust of the majority? Dr. Yanwan Nugroho and Professor Burhan Mutadi, two political observers immersed in public opinion data, campaign dynamics, and popular sentiments, will help us to ponder these searching questions. And this exciting discussion will, I believe, help keep us riveted until the end of our day together. With that summary of what lies ahead, I'm sure you'll agree with me that this day promises to be illuminating and stimulating, and that we can trust our distinguished speakers to inform and provoke our minds. We look forward to many questions and also guidance on issues to be watched. It is also our shared hope amidst these grim times of conflict, war, dislocation, poverty, inequality, and also the climate crisis, that Aroa 2024 will contribute to stakeholders not just comprehending what's going on, but also helping to find solutions to restore trust in sound policy, good governance, and peaceful relations. It is now my pleasure to make way for the keynote session by Tan Sri Anifa Aman. I am now pleased to welcome Ambassador Chan Hing Chee, Chairman of the ISEAS Board of Trustees, to introduce the session, and also our keynote speaker. Professor Chan, please.